give everyone just another minute here to join on. We still are waiting on our 2 brand new regional leaders, so give them a minute. Cheryl, I just saw you.
I'm here.
I know, I'm just saying it. I feel like
Oh yes. Not as in technical difficulty, I disappeared, but yes.
No.
Yes, literally just saw you.
What call were you on for this?
We saw each other in person on Friday.
Yeah, my whirlwind drive. Yeah, for Ole, Texas.
Well, welcome everyone. I'm going to put a link to the agenda in the chat in case you need it.
Hi, y'all. Ashley here. Sorry, my camera is broken. I'm waiting on my new laptop. But I'm here.
That's quite all right. Put the agenda in the chat one more time because we had a couple people join since I hit share. And I'm going to go ahead and get us started. So welcome everyone. We have 2 new members of our regional leader cohort. And Stephanie, I don't think you were on our last call, so we have 3 people for you all to meet. So what I thought would be really helpful for our new folks is for everyone to do names, where you are, and please feel free, everyone, to hop in with questions. Yes, I have an agenda, but we're a rather informal group. So we're going to go Brady Bunch style, and I'll call y'all according to who I see on my screen. So Stephanie, you were up first.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Stephanie Riggets. I'm in the San Antonio area. I am the founder and director with Coming to the Outside, and I'm also the director of programs for Cibolo Nature Center in Boerne.
And Stephanie is our new regional leader for San Antonio. If you haven't heard, Thea, after many years of dedicated service, retired. And so she's enjoying a much deserved retirement. So Stephanie has stepped in her place. So thank you so much, Stephanie.
Thank you.
And then I've got Ted.
Hello, everyone. I'm the regional leader for the beautiful Piney Woods out here in East Texas. As you can see is my background here, shot from Angelina National Forest. I'm the education director of the Texas Forestry Association and the statewide coordinator for Project Learning Tree. I've been in this role coming up on 4 years now. And before that, I spent 10 years with Texas State Parks.
And Ted also serves on the board.
Should have mentioned.
Yeah, we do try to have at least one regional leader on the board. So Ted is serving in that capacity. So besides myself, your direct contact to board members is Ted.
Yep.
So Anna.
Okay, can y'all hear me? Okay, sorry, just wanted to make sure. I am the co-regional leader for the North Texas region, and I am with the Dallas Zoo as the early childhood manager there, also serving as our director for our fully licensed preschool here on grounds.
Aaron, sorry, I think I accidentally muted myself instead of unmuting myself.
Oh no, I'm gonna have problems with mute. Man, I can't make fun of anybody anymore because I'm gonna screw it up too. Hi, my name is Erin Shields. I'm one of the 2 regional co-leaders for the Heart of Texas region. I am the executive director of the Bosque Museum in Clifton, Texas.
Welcome, welcome. Alicia is another new face to some of y'all. So Alicia.
Hello, everyone. I am Alicia Fontenot. I am the Health and Nature Liaison for the Gulf Coast region, and I am based in Houston, Texas.
And Jenny.
Hey everybody, my name is Jenny Larios. I'm the North Texas Health and Nature Liaison, and I am based out of Dallas.
And Cheryl.
Yes, hi, I'm Cheryl Potemkin. I am Anna Lewis's counterpart as co-lead in the DFW region, North Texas region, and I am the early childhood program manager for the Fort Worth Botanic Garden and the Ole Texas regional coordinator. I think that's the word. Yeah. Something like that. I'm your Ole Texas person in North Texas.
And Danny.
Thanks for having me here with all of you. Honored to be the regional leader of Houston area. Still getting to know what that role means. So excited to hear you guys talking about all the cool stuff you're doing. And I'm the director of education at the Houston Botanic Garden. So it's a 3-year-old garden, new, and now we're growing fast and trucking along.
Welcome, Danny, and thank you so much for stepping in as our new Houston regional leader. Really excited to have you on board. Casey.
Hi, I'm Casey Munoz. I am the new regional leader for El Paso, but we're going to call it the Paso del Norte region because we're right on the border of Juarez, and we're right on the border. We're 5 minutes from Juarez, 5 minutes from New Mexico, and hours away from Texas. My background's in landscape architecture, and I'm just so excited to be here and meet y'all.
Yeah.
El Paso. Sorry.
Go ahead,
El Paso. You know I love El Paso. I was just saying woot woot El Paso. Glad to have her here.
Yeah. Casey has been participating with our Caprock Regional Collaborative and let me know that she feels like she's ready to step in and help us launch El Paso. So we are so excited. You know, I've had that goal of carving up Caprock to make it smaller, and we are taking the first step. So we're very excited. Gabe.
Hello, everyone. So I'm Gabe Garmello. I am the other co-chair of the Heart of Texas region. I am the executive director and co-founder of GTG Outdoors. So we get youth, families, adults out hiking, biking, paddling. A fun little tidbit, just because of this weekend, is I'm also on the board for the Wilderness Education Association, and we had a board retreat this weekend, and I was able to kind of completely revamp our credentialing system to include more people who are not just wilderness guides or expedition type of outdoor leaders. So I am super excited to hopefully eventually bring that to y'all.
We are excited to hear about that. I am, whenever you're ready, just let me know. Marisa.
Hi, everyone. Casey, I understand I'm in the Rio Grande Valley, 10 minutes away from Mexico. And yes, it takes forever to get to anywhere else outside of the valley. I'm the Health and Nature Liaison down here, and we still need our regional collaborative leader. So hopefully we'll find one with the next couple of months.
I'm apparently on a roll, Marisa, so I think this is the time. We're going to get someone. Jennifer.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Boley. I am, I guess, now a by chair for the Austin region. with Ashley. I do have to though give Ashley props because I've been very ill for a long time, it seems like now. And so she has really held down the fort on her own for the most part. So thank you so much for that, Ashley. I do run an organization called Nature and Eclectic Outdoors. Most people know us as NEO, and I'm kind of with Gabe. We are guerrilla style getting people outdoors. So we do all the adventure stuff, the backpacking, hiking, kayaking, archery, all that. But hey, if you'll knit a scarf under a tree, we'll teach you how to knit. We'll teach you how to cook outside, gourmet food. Anything that gets a person breathing fresh air, we will do. We host free events open to the public every week, but we also do very intense engagement with underserved communities and schools, particularly Title I schools. And then I also am the founder and director of the Healthy Outdoor Communities Initiative.
Thanks, Jennifer and Ashley.
Hey y'all, sorry about my camera. No worries, Jen. You know we're a team. I got you. Glad to see you. I'm Ashley Chabeli Pettis. I am one of the vice-chairs of the Austin Regional Collab. I work for the City of Austin in the Urban Forest program, and I focus on urban forest education for youth, like K through 12. And focus on a lot of green career pathways for our young adults. I also sit as a chair on CCCN, Cities Connecting Children and Nature, Youth Leadership Working Group, with a lot of other great folks. But it's great to see everyone.
Thanks, Ashley. So thank you everyone for joining. So excited to see so many folks on the call today. Really appreciate y'all taking time to meet today. Kind of the first order of business is just kind of some network growth updates from our last meeting. First up being, I guess with the exception of you, Casey, because this happened before you came on board as our new regional leader for your region, but I sent out business cards for the regions. Did anyone not get theirs? Jennifer, I think yours went to Ashley. I think all of them went to Ashley. And Gabe, I think all of them went to Erin. So she should have them.
I did notice that they will have both our names on them. So Jennifer, I can definitely send some to you.
Cool, thank you.
Anna, I'm gonna bet yours all went to Cheryl.
That's what I was gonna say.
Nope, haven't seen them.
Okay, I will track those down, Cheryl.
I mean, not unless they. Not
I think
unless
they
they
got sent to
arrived
the
on Friday.
No, it was like over a month ago. They were sent to the Botanic Garden. So last time I shipped stuff to the Botanic Garden, it ended up in the gift shop. So I don't know if you might want to check the gift shop.
I'll call Linda. I mean, surely she opened the package and at least saw my name on them. We'll see.
But yeah, I'll check with Canva to see what happened to yours, Cheryl. Anyone else missing theirs? Okay. So I forwarded along an invite we got from HEB. Has anyone been able to see the new HEB, Our Texas, Our Future films? Ted, yep, great. So HEB sent along an opportunity. If your region is interested in screening it, you would need to find a location, but like for instance, Cheryl, y'all have a great auditorium. So does Anna at the zoo. But if y'all are interested in screening it, we would love, that could be a great kind of social event for your regional collaboratives. And they're willing to give $500 of snacks to you to help host the event. So does anyone think that that might be something that they might be interested in?
Sarah, my audio has been cutting in and out. What is the screening for?
So ATB created 5 with the help of Fin and Feather Films, who did Heart Deep in the Heart, River and the Wall. 5 kind of mini documentaries. They're all about 20-25 minutes long. And so it's as a package, lasts about 2 hours. And they're about different conservation projects that are happening across the state of Texas. So there's one specifically about state parks and the Centennial. There's one called Batsies, which is about 2 researchers out of Texas State that are studying the bat population. There's one on coastal fisheries. There's one on, you're challenging my memory here. One on bears out in Big Bend. And that one has the cutest baby bears you've ever seen. There's, I can't remember what the other ones are on, but it's kind of focused all around Texas, all Texas conservation projects. Oh, thank you, Casey. And they're all really well done. Like Fin and Feather Films in general does a really good job with their work. But they're definitely really great.
How many are we looking to attend a screening? Like, do we want it like in a movie house? Or are we looking for like a nature center that has an outdoor screen?
They're really open to whatever it is that we're interested in doing.
Okay.
Probably would want it to be, 50 plus people. So a nature center with an outdoor screen would probably work, or like Marisa, if Quinta was interested and wanted to do it inside that really big room, that would also probably work. So I think there's, go ahead,
I was
Ted.
going to say, we did a screening for Deep in the Heart at SFA, and a lot of the universities sometimes will have a movie theater in their student center that you can get for free for community events or for a very cheap rate. So if you're looking for like a theater style place to do that, and you have a decent sized university within your region, reach out to their student center director and you might be able to find out a pretty good deal there.
Yeah.
Sorry. Is this something you want us to coordinate as like TSAN regional leaders, and TSAN is offering this, or is it something that we want to offer to our partners and they could showcase to their audience specifically?
So we were thinking it would be something like TCIN RGV presents.
Okay.
And I definitely can help y'all out with the planning of the different ones. But also, if after that, so that the other partners wanted to screen it, definitely, I think ATV would be open to that too. Danny, I see you have your hand up.
Yeah, outdoor screenings are so fun. You just kind of only need a large screen. And I'm sure all of you have a projector or know someone with a projector. So it's one of those things. Yeah, we have a really huge screen, but you can do it on almost anything, pop-up tents, a lot of stuff. So I'm excited. I think it's gonna be great. Alicia and I are gonna do it. We're doing it. So, and then we've done some cool collaborations with other organizations where really you make the poster and all the orgs are on it that are involved. And so it looks like a really big event. Even if your event's only, 50, 60 people, you can have this like kind of mass group feel to the event.
Yeah, Jennifer, go ahead. Sorry, Marisa.
When are the screenings to take place?
You can choose when you want to do it. So, work with your partners to wherever you're going to be, and you can kind of choose a date that works best for y'all. Let me look at the email from HEB. I have too many things on my screen here.
I'd like one in the valley. I'll just put it out there.
They'd like them before December 15th. So you've got several months to plan. Jennifer?
Yeah, so we do, I have a projector and an outdoor movie screen. So I'm thinking, Ashley, Neo has a community garden plot at Sunshine Community Gardens in Austin. I'm wondering if we could do an outdoor movie night there. Is that something that would be acceptable?
That sounds good. I love an outdoor screening. And they have all the stuff for it to host it outside. Yeah.
Will they be providing, like, how are the films going to be provided to us?
Hopefully they can stream it. Hopefully they can stream it online, or maybe they can send us a video to.
Yeah. Here's the instruction sheet, how to host a screening.
And do we have to eat all the snacks there, or can we save snacks for later?
It just says a $500 gift card. So
Oh,
Yeah, it says you can use it there, some of it there, or for later.
nice.
Okay, so it is just streaming online.
Internet access. Yeah. Okay.
So I guess if we don't have an HEB here, we don't get the HEB gift card. Or can we have things like mailed?
Or Central Market. Do you have that?
No.
No.
I think if you want to, I will email Environmental Affairs and I'll find out for you.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I have a feeling they probably have their eyes on your region. And so it would not be unheard of for them to think, oh, we should start. I mean, I don't know if ATV has a PR problem in terms of Texas. I think everyone loves ATV, but get the word out. Like ATV is a thing.
We want it here. We want it.
So.
Oh.
Danny, you sounded concerned. Was there a question?
Oh, just Aaron's mom's not in the HEB fan club. I was intrigued by that. I mean, I happen to love HEB, but I'm not in the fan club.
She might be the only person in Texas, Aaron.
I know. We've tried to convince her of this fact. When it comes to my mother, it's the bottom line, and she does not care if her food is coming to her from across the globe. It is more expensive, therefore she does not like shopping there.
Nobody has ever said that HEB was like more expensive to me. I've never heard that.
She loves her Kroger. She loves her Kroger.
Kroger.
It's a tough
If she was
pull.
like, she's all about Aldi, I'd be like, okay, well, that's one thing, but Kroger, that's the same.
She's probably hooked on those coupons on the digital app, right?
Yeah, she's
I know my wife is at Kroger.
Well, cool. So to host a screening, is this something that we plan and organize, or do we go to HEB and line up that way?
So probably what I'll do is I'll start a Google document and we can start putting all the info in there, and then I can email Anna E, who is, I'm assuming, is getting the environmental affairs at heb.com info, and I'll let her know, like, hey, each of our regions are interested in doing this. I talk to Anna E on a daily basis, so I think that probably will be one of the quicker ways of going about it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'll do them all. I love movie screenings. It's such a easy, big event to put on. That's a blast. And if there's already snacks, hey, we'll probably rope in a brewery and have some beer there too for adults. So that's something we do. But yeah, y'all know, I mean, I like doing that. Look, I like beer. I love beer. Sorry, Brett Kavanaugh jokes. No, they're not. Okay.
I'll come to your screening with the beer.
Yes, thanks, Stephanie.
Yeah. I mean, Danny, you gained the nickname in our summit planning committee as the beverage dude. So
don't mind.
Gabe's question answered, because I'm kind of curious too. Can you couple it
yeah
with the event, or
it doesn't say, so I will ask. And I think they probably would be okay with us using it as a fundraiser, but I'll ask. Yeah. Well, thanks, y'all. I'm excited to be doing that. My guess is that they'd probably be fine. Yeah, fine with it being a fundraiser because they're one of our biggest funders, so they understand, you know, we need the funding. Well, great. Any other questions about the ATB screening or thoughts, ideas?
I think I kind of missed the part about regional collaborations.
Yeah, I skipped over that one. I was going to come back to it.
Gotcha. Sorry.
I got too excited about ATB.
Nothing wrong with that. Not at all wrong with that.
Well, it is if I'm Aaron's mom.
Well played.
So regional
She'll forgive you.
collaboration. We had talked about last time, maybe trying to have some collaborations between the regions. Has anyone connected over that at all or had any ideas since our last meeting? It's okay if the answer is no.
What would be an example of a regional, like? Yeah.
Well, I think one example is actually one thing we did last year. We went to Cibolo for a San Antonio Austin joint field trip because Cibolo is kind of equal distance between the two. So that was kind of a regional collaboration we had worked on just for a field trip. We had also talked about maybe joining them up for maybe a project of some sort.
Everyone's always welcome to come back out to Cibolo, but if we want to change it up.
I don't know, Danny, like an example for you might be a joint field trip with Ted out to like Big Thicket, because Big Thicket kind of falls in both regions.
Yeah, and I got a contact at Big Thicket as well that would probably be glad to host us.
So we get some constituents and kind of meet in the middle, maybe do some forest education, some forest bathing, swim, maybe you could swim in the lake or canoeing. Something
Village
like
Creek.
that is what you're talking about, a little like live interaction for the educators.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sarah, so like for the Rio Grande Valley, do you want us to collaborate with Corpus? Is that what I'm understanding?
Coastal Bend might be kind of y'all's easiest regional collaborative, just based on distance. But it could be something that you do digitally too. It doesn't necessarily have to be in person. So like, just an example of like Coastal Expo coming up for maybe, future where you're engaging some of the Coastal Bend partners and some of that planning for, I know Holly's involved, but some of the other partners aren't. So getting them involved might be a way to expand the regional collaboration.
I know with Heart of Texas, our partners have said that they want to do something that's valuable to them, if there's a value there. So I can see maybe in early 24, Danny partnering with you guys on what a summit looked like to your regional collaborative, like just having like a Zoom and like what that means for regional partners, and because you guys will be through it and we'll be looking down it. So that'd be nice.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we all kind of house unique ecosystems. I don't know if that's how y'all divided that on purpose, but good job. You know, I think people are struggling with how to talk about climate change. So it could be like a region by region, how to talk about climate change as an online offering. I mean, we can't all do pickling for the apocalypse every week. That is a good class though. How to cook with some veggie, you know, hot weather veggies. No, I just think a coastal bend, other waterways. I mean, El Paso's like legit in the desert. You know, it's all different. So it'd be very, to me, I'd go to it.
Well, and I think also just collaborating in terms, thinking about that too, like with all of our partners and thinking about summer programming, because it's getting so much hotter that our partners are having to think a lot more about what does summer programming look like, because it's getting to the point where it's dangerous to be outside.
Yeah. I don't know if y'all read it. Let me get it out of my recycling bin real quick. But I have a hard time reading things on big things online. So I read this report on virtual programming. And it's from QZM. It's just a QZM report on virtual programming. And I'm almost done with it, but it would be interesting to kind of like read through something like that and hear y'all's thoughts. I mean, I know that I'm here to, I want to learn to see what y'all are doing. I don't really exactly know how to fulfill this regional leader role completely. So I'm still learning from Sarah and from Alicia how to do that. But yeah, that's the sort of thing I'm interested in hearing what y'all are doing, Texas Children Nature Wise. So even if that's a one-on-one call with all of you, or kind of hearing about what you think that role is, that would help me a lot. And I guess I can also speak for Casey on that. She knows more than I do because she's been involved longer.
I think also maybe something around like just the use of technology in the work we do, because I feel like I get asked that question a lot, like, what do you see the role of technology is with getting kids outside? And so like, how are we both encouraging folks to be immersive in the outdoors, but accepting the fact that like phones are a part of our lives. Like you can't just get rid of them. So.
Yeah, I feel too fresh to be able to provide input on this. I think I'm still in kind of like the outreach, like the internal outreach, just locally to gather people around the table to want to be a part of this chapter. So, I mean, at that level, if you all have input on, you know, different outreach tactics, but I did like what I think it was Dan that said, you know, talking about climate change. It's such a doomsday thing, right? And so like, how do you talk about it in different ways that are perhaps like educational, tactical, practical, but also looking at things, you know, where it can be impactful at a singular person level. And then, you know, Texans are real proud of being Texan. And so like, how do you look at it across a region of Texas and understand like the beauty of the diversity and the different, you know, ecosystems here and the bioregions. And so that's an interesting, like big topic that I think could unfold over time.
Sarah, okay, so what I'm wondering, and this is just a little segue off, but like we have a big event like the Rio Grande Valley Birding Festival, and there may be people involved with TSAN from other regions at the birding festival. And maybe there's events up in Corpus or Austin, San Antonio that again, people are going to be going to. Is there a way for TSAN regional leaders and other people involved with the network to come together during those events somehow?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a possibility. I know when I was the regional leader for Coastal Bend, NAI had their national conference in Corpus while we were down there. And so like we just hosted a meetup for everyone who was involved in TCINN that was going to NAI. We just all like met up for a drink. So Danny, like something like maybe CAST, like if you wanted to send out a message to everyone who might be attending CAST, if they wanted to meet up for a drink or something, or Marisa, same with the regional Grand Birding Festival, or like if there's a national conference that's coming, you know, Cheryl and Anna, like NRPA is gonna have probably a lot of TCINN folks in Dallas. So, and I mean, I'll be there too. So, so like if you wanted to figure out like maybe one of the evenings having a happy hour, that, you know, folks from TCINN would be able to go to.
So how would we advertise a meetup through, like, because like we know our context in our region, but outside of our region, besides regional leaders, how would we do that?
It would be basically just working with Alice and I to send out an e-blast to our folks saying like, are you going to NRPA? Meet us for a happy hour at this place at this time.
Okay.
Yeah, if I can add on, like, here in Austin, in our past meeting, we had some people, well, a person from my team, talk about Roots and Wings, and it's like our yearly celebration, to talk about trees and butterflies. And it's about 2 weeks of like activities, usually outdoors in schools and parks. They're pretty much everywhere. And they came to talk about like those 2 weeks and how to get involved and how to host something at their site. So just like we do, you know, just do a lot of outreach at our meetings, you know, especially during our meetings, I always give folks time to talk about their upcoming projects and if they need any help or assistance from anyone. Yeah, those are like a few things that I do at the Austin meetings.
I really like the idea of doing a CAST meetup. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I agree with that a lot. I think, you know, having those opportunities for us as a network to get together and continue to communicate and remind ourselves while we're involved in TCINN is a good thing. And especially when it can be an informal scenario like that, that's outside of just like a pre-planned regional meeting. So I agree 100% on that.
TCINN they're not on affiliates row, right? Are they a stat affiliate, Sarah?
I'm going to be at the ISCA booth. We are not officially a stat affiliate. I have been toying with the idea of becoming a stat affiliate. We're not, because we're not solely environmental ed. Yeah. I haven't done it yet.
Yeah. Or solely education.
Yeah.
Period.
TAEE and ISCA are both partners. So I can kind of float between the two.
Yeah. And I think, you know, in the way back, ISCA and TAEE, because there's so much overlap in those members, would sometimes have a group meetup. I wonder if we can just like hop onto that as well, revive it and pull the other two.
I haven't heard of either having a meetup this year yet, but I can reach out. I know Mark Broughton is doing ISCA, which is Informal Science Education Association, for any of you who don't know. And then I don't know who's heading up TAEE this year. I have to look.
I'll also be at the ISCA booth at CAST and at CAST the entire time, and I'm presenting at CAST. So,
And TAEE is Texas Association of Environmental Educators.
And their
Those are-
conference is coming up this upcoming weekend, actually.
Yeah, man, those cast meetups are very appealing, but very hard because it's cast is chaos.
What does it mean,
Cass-
Cheryl? Does it seem like Cass is a lot smaller the past couple of years?
Remarkably smaller since COVID.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I don't know. Well, budgets were probably already made to attend cast for this year, but man, we're struggling. I think a lot of schools were hoping to get money that they did not this year from the state.
I think a shortage of subs is having a big role in that as well.
That too, for
Absolutely.
sure. We won't be at cast this year. We skipped the Houston year.
Okay. Any other thoughts on regional collaborations? Okay, I created a couple of trackers, moving on to eval. Created a couple of trackers after our last meeting to see, so I want to just kind of walk through it with y'all and see if this is what you had in mind. So the first is just a meeting tracker date form, so you can track, like, I had a meeting, this is how many people came, any insights or needs that came up. So there's a folder that I will give y'all access to that's called Regional Leaders. So we've got the meeting tracker form. This has a little drop down. You can choose your region, put in how many people. And this was just like, the whole group was talking about this. And I feel like I should share that the whole group was talking about this. How does this look to everyone?
I like that.
I tried to make it so it was not really hard for y'all to fill out. Like, this wasn't going to take y'all 2 hours.
Yeah, that looks good.
And then the other one I created is just a TA tracker form. And this is based off of what we've been working with Cities Connecting Children to Nature to create a TA tracker for us in general. So TA is technical assistance. So again, just like anytime a partner contacts you, I would think of this as more like on an individual basis. Like, Ted, if a partner reaches out to you and like, hey, I really need help with XYZ, like, you being able, let's spell partner correctly, to kind of say like, okay, on the 10th, SFA reached out to me and they're looking for partners to help with this. And you kind of like say looking for partners or looking for like a connection, a convening, kind of what the topic was. And then your response status, like, and there's what this means. I was thinking about changing it so it's a little bit more understandable, but like, what did you say? How long did it take you to do it? And just to follow up. Like, this took me 5 minutes because it's easy to write an intro email, or this was a little harder. It took me longer. Not just like, it took me 3 months to get back to them. This is more like, was it an easy ask? Was it a hard ask? So any thoughts on this? And I'll update the response status so it's a little more understandable. I'm going to take silence as it's good.
Yeah, no thoughts on this right now.
Okay. And so I will definitely, I'll share that with y'all. Just kind of make it a goal to like try to remember to fill it out. I know sometimes if you're in the middle of doing something and you're like just dashing off a quick email, it's hard to remember to go fill out a form. So I totally understand if that doesn't happen. I also am planning on setting up a meeting with Dr. Maddock at A&M with the Center for Health and Nature. Some of you I know, Jennifer, y'all have been working with him quite a bit. Some others of you have been working with him just to kind of get his insights in terms of our evaluation techniques as well. Just to kind of think like, how are we tracking the work that the regional collaboratives are doing? So we can better tell our story. So I think our story, we understand, everyone on this call understands like why this is really valuable work, but it's a hard story to kind of explain to people without having experienced why it's valuable work.
There's a fellow who works for the Texas Nature Conservancy, Jaime Gonzalez. I know you know him, Sarah, but he's very good and all about storytelling, and he might be another asset along those lines. So we need to get our own movie series.
Maybe we can talk to HEB about us being one of their next movies. And Jaime, yes, I will definitely, he is definitely a resource that is invaluable to this collaborative. Okay, we're going to move on to summit updates. So we are well into summit. It's coming. There's no question. The summit is coming. It will be here before we know it. Sponsorships. We are still very much in need of sponsorships. So if any of you have any ideas for potential sponsors, please, please, please let me know. We are still looking to raise about $117,000 in sponsorships. And the reason sponsorships are important is because they actually help offset the cost of the conference for our attendees. So if we didn't have sponsorships, it would be a whole lot more expensive than it is for the summit to happen. And also the summit is our big fundraiser for the year. So it really allows us to be able to do a lot of the technical assistance visits and support for the regional leaders, our webinars, all those things that we provide free of charge to our partners. We're able to do that because of the money we raise during the summit and the champions dinner. So, and our biggest way of making money for that is sponsorships. So if you know of anyone who might be interested, please let me know. Or Ted know. Ted is also helping with sponsorships as a board member. So any other comments, Ted, about sponsorships?
You know, our story does tell itself a little bit, right? And I'll agree, say when I first started going out and asking people for sponsorship, it's a little bit uncomfortable, right? I mean, you're asking for money, but at the end of the day, It's not like, you're asking for money for a really great cause, and just being able to tell the story of Texas Children in Nature and how, we are one of the biggest organizations in the state doing what we're doing about getting kids outside. And, I'm preaching to the choir here. I'm going to save you the rest, but, reach out, find who in your community, anything small or large can help. Because at the end of the day, by bringing that ticket down, to go to the conference, we can get a lot more people involved, and it does help out with the collaborability at the conference and the diversity of participants that we get to have by bringing that cost down. So it's a big help. And so, yeah, if you can't have a conversation with someone about that, that's great. You can get with me or Sarah, and we'll be able to help you or get you some materials that you need to be able to have that conversation. I know I'm available if you need me to try to talk with you beforehand or something about that. But yeah, please, if you know anybody in your community or that you're connected with that'd be interested in supporting the conference, we could certainly use the assistance.
And I will say we have sponsorships available from 1,500 to 10,000. And all of those sponsorship levels do come with registrations and tickets to the Champions Dinner. So like, depending on how many folks people are sending, sometimes, it starts to make a little bit more financial sense, even just to be a sponsor, as opposed to just paying for the registration for everyone.
I have a suggestion. So there are service clubs, right? We all know Rotary, Lions, all of that. There are also some kind of like under the radar service clubs, like Exchange Club, like local fraternal organizations. And those organizations they have budgets to give to local stuff that's happening and things that are going to impact their residents, especially their kids. So if any of us are a part of a service club, if we can share out to our networks, if they're part of a service club, let's see if they've got chunks of money to give out, like $1,000, $1,500, and that could add up a bit.
Yeah, and I will send y'all the updated sponsor kit as well. And then also any of you that are in Houston for things like that, like if I'm going to be in town, I'm more than happy to go do a presentation. But then also Marsha Towns is in town in Houston. She's a board member. And so we can also talk to her about doing some of those presentations in the Houston area as well. Or if you're in a different region besides Austin, I'm also happy to, or any of the regions if I'm there, go and do a presentation. But also we've got board members in a lot of the regions that we could ask to help with that as well.
And even if the service club isn't necessarily in Houston, you can still make the pitch that a lot of your community members are going to this conference and benefiting from what they learn and bringing it back to the community. So there are multiple ways to pitch it.
Thank you, Jennifer. And then Aaron put in a thing in here. The funder recently told a friend, by not asking me, you're saying no to me. Give me a chance to say no. So I'm all for asking. The worst they can do is tell me no. And I get a lot of them. I'm used to no. Thanks, Casey. That's a great suggestion.
And if you know of any organizations that do send a lot of their folks to the TCINN summits, sometimes that conversation about them becoming an official sponsor that comes with those tickets might be beneficial. I had a conversation with another organization just like that, said, hey, you're already sending these people just a little bit more and we can make you an official sponsor, and then your folks will get to go and you're supporting us and everything's fantastic that way.
Mm-hmm. And, I've also, a lot of the times for some of our partner organizations that are also sending people already, it's also kind of making the pitch like you're also supporting all the other professional development you get throughout the year through this sponsorship, because those folks are also attending the webinars and getting TA from our staff. So thank you everyone for your suggestions and for being willing to help us. So that brings us to regional meetings at the summit. So those of you that have attended before know we have in the past always done a regional meeting on Friday morning. Based on the conversations that we had at our retreat in April, we have moved the regional meeting to Thursday morning. So it'll be the keynote and then the regional meeting will happen on Thursday morning. And so kind of the idea of the regional meeting is just to kind of meet who from your region is attending. And I have also this year, let me pull up, our registration spreadsheet. I am tracking for y'all who is supposed to be there from your region. So I will give y'all this list before the summit. So y'all will be able, even if you want to email out everyone who, you know, Danny, everyone who's registered from Houston, let them know like, hey, so glad you're coming. Looking forward to seeing you at the regional meeting at the summit. So you'll have this list for y'all at the summit. So I know often the question is like, what do we talk about at said regional meeting at the summit? I think one of the big things is just helping people get to know each other. If it's someone who maybe this is their first experience with Texas Children in Nature Network, that always happens. We always have lots of people that this is kind of their first foray into TCINN. So doing some introductions around the room, helping people get to know who their regional buddies are at the conference. And then maybe just talk about, you will have just heard Parker speak. So anything that comes up for people, either from the workshops they did on Wednesday or from hearing Parker, or just like, what are things that people are looking for as part of the summit? Like what are you hoping to get out of coming to the summit this year? Any other thoughts from those of you that have done these regional meetings at the summit in the past?
I would say after the regional meeting, always like when you're with the group, plan a follow-up meeting when you're with everyone, because there's a lot of great ideas shared when you're all together in person, and you know, you get excited at the moment, and then everyone goes kind of back to their everyday lives. But if you plan something right then and there to follow up, it's very helpful.
As a regional lead, while we're all in the same room together and kind of fired up about conference, we like to talk about what do you want from your regional network? Like, do you just want to get to know each other? Do you just want to find out who's in your area? Do we want to do some kind of professional development event? Do we just want to use the network to promote the events that are already happening? You know, we kind of talk about what could we want from the region in terms of an action plan, loosely defined action plan.
And we will do one more meeting with all of us before the summit. So we'll go over all that stuff. And then also when y'all get there on Wednesday, we'll have someone assigned to kind of showing y'all around too. So you'll be able to answer questions for any of your attendees, because probably a lot of your regional folks that know you are going to find you with questions before they're going to find me with questions. So y'all just kind of have like an idea of, it's like, oh yeah, keynotes are in this room, or kind of, so y'all will be able to help out with that as well. Luckily this year we are all on one floor and we are the only conference happening. So you won't be accidentally ending up in a room about cybersecurity like last year. So, okay, so Wednesday evening event. So we are planning a networking event for Wednesday night. One of the biggest comments on the surveys from last year is people wish they had more time just to network with each other. And so we planned our Wednesday evening event to just be a time for us to play outdoors and network with each other. And so thanks to Danny, who has been really helping with that as part of our Houston team working on the summit. So it's going to be at Buffalo Bayou Park, which is a pretty quick little jaunt from the hotel. You should be able to walk it if you want. Also the hotel, I don't know if y'all have seen, you get a bike with your hotel room. So if you want a bike there, you have to reserve it because I don't think they have one for every room, but there are bikes available. And then also we've partnered with B-Cycle as well to make sure we have lots of bikes available for folks. Or you can Uber or drive if you so desire, but it's pretty close. So at that Wednesday evening event, we'll have dinner, we'll have drinks. We got drinks donated from Fox and Glove. Is that the right name, Danny?
Fox and Seeker.
Fox and Seeker.
You want to say
thank
that
you.
we're doing a botanically harvested gin with them.
Mhm.
All the botanicals are from the garden. Pretty awesome. You'll be some of the first people to try it for free.
And then St. Arnold's Brewery is donating. And then also Rambler is donating beverages as well. We have camp is kind of the idea theme that we were going with. And so our caterer is kind of playing off of that theme for dinner as well. And we'll have nature play available for the night. We have activities from the astronomy club. It's going to be doing a star party. We'll be doing some mothing. Various lots of activities. This really is an Alice question. For those of you who have not heard yet, that's an Alice question. This is an Alice question. She's way more on top of it than I am. But lots of fun activities going on in the park, and really just kind of encouraging folks to hang out with each other, get to know each other, and spend some time playing in nature at the park together. So we're excited about Wednesday evening. I will say, if you haven't registered yet, when you register, and please tell folks when you're walking them through any registration questions they have, there is an add-on ticket for the Wednesday evening event. It is free. You don't have to pay for it, but it's helping us know what our numbers are. So be sure to add that. If any of you have already registered and you didn't do that, if you're a regional leader, I RSVP'd for you. You are attending. If you could make sure that happens. Our award winners. We officially have all of our award winners confirmed as of noon. So our award winners are, and this announcement will be going out hopefully this week now that I've gotten final confirmation on everyone. So we have 2 legacy award winners this year. We have an individual and a company. So our individual award winner, legacy award winner, is Kiki. If you haven't heard, Kiki Corey is retiring in December. If you don't know who Kiki is, she has been running Project Wild in the state of Texas for over 20 years and is very involved with many of our partners. And then our corporate legacy award winner is HEB. And so they're going to be we'll be honoring them. And then we have our 4 champions award winners. So our emerging leader this year is Fern. Now I forgot Fern's last name. It's terrible. I'm sorry. I will send it to y'all. Starts with them. But she has been working with City of Houston on their Children's Outdoor Bill of Rights. And then our individual award winner is Michelle Medina from Rio Grande Valley. She has been doing some great work with homeschool families down there. And then our organizational winner is the City of Pearland Dolores Fenwick Nature Center. They've been doing some really great work out in Houston. And then our company champion is Ready to Grow Gardens, who they work with Houston schools to put in school gardens around the city of Houston. So be on the lookout for that award winner announcement, hopefully coming out later this week. Any questions about our award winners? We had a call this morning with ATB and the filmographer for our videos. And one of the things that they're wanting to do is really highlight how they also work with a lot of our partners. So you may get an email from us with a video request. So just keep that in mind. You might get an email. Because we're going to try to interview some of our partner organizations that also work with ATB. But and then lastly, registration update. We have about 90 folks registered right now for the summit. Early bird registration ends on October 15th. So I am anticipating a lot of registrations in the next 2 weeks. As everyone remembers, that early bird registration is almost up. So any questions about any of our summit updates?
Oh, I was just gonna add, like, registration might also be coming soon, because if they're like us, our fiscal year ends at the end of this week, and I can't register until the next fiscal year starts. So there's probably others that are in that same boat as well.
That's part of why we have early bird in mid-October, is we know that there's a fiscal year that impacts that. Also, a lot of people forget until they get the reminder that says early bird ends next week, which, being someone who that has happened to multiple times with Ever conferences, I hold no judgment on that person. So any other questions about the summit? Thoughts?
I know this was talked about at some point in time, but I was wondering if it is going to happen. If on our name badges, there's going to be something identifying us as the regional leader.
Yes.
So that, you know, people can find us even if they don't haven't attended a meeting yet, but are coming to the conference as their first meeting. They can be like, oh, that's a regional leader. I can ask them.
Yeah, all of your name badges will say regional leader on there. And then it'll also say, like, if you're a presenter or a board member or whatever it is. And then also we're going to be ordering buttons for the regions for folks to attach to their lanyards. So folks will be able to grab a North Texas button. And we'll also have some folks, and I'm going to make a map poster by the buttons. So folks will be able to see, like, oh, I know I'm McAllen. That does mean I'm in the Rio Grande Valley. So you'd be surprised how many people will tell me, well, I'm in Fort Worth. I'm not in the DFW region. It's like, what's this? So we will have a map, but also someone helping with that as well. And yeah, any other questions? Okay. Strategic planning update. Tomorrow we have our first strategic planning meeting. It's hard to believe that it's time to redo our strategic plan because I feel like we just did it. But it is time. So those of you that are attending, thank you so much for coming to our strategic planning meeting tomorrow. And then next up, I have a project that our health and nature liaisons have been working on. So I don't know if one of you want to hop in and talk about the health case statement document that y'all have been working on.
Yeah, where's Alicia? Yeah, so Alicia kind of took the lead on this, and then we've been going in and editing it, but we just shared it with Sarah. It's a 2-page health document, kind of outline what are the big issues of the day, why children need to be outdoors, and then just some pertinent information about some of the we didn't want to advocate for anything in particular, so it's just more information about like 3 big areas, including why kids need recess, and then there's links to sources that we'll also include, and we'll have them on the website where you can find more information. Alicia, do you want to add anything else?
I think you summed it up pretty well. The 3 big main topics that we focused on, the benefits of being in nature or being outside for recess, were mental health, improved physical health, and social emotional learning, I believe was the 3rd one. And then we also talked about the benefits of green schoolyards and the importance of expanding that concept to multiple schools.
So kind of the idea for this document is it's going to go out to the school health advisory committees. So any of you who don't know, every school district, every ISD in Texas has to have a school health advisory committee. That was some legislation that was passed almost 10 years ago now, I think. And it is a committee that's made up of both parents and faculty at the schools. And so we're making this document specifically for the shacks, but it's something that can be used across the board in general. So we'll be sending that out to shacks across the state, but also one of the things that we're kind of asking our regions to do, if it's something that they feel comfortable with, and maybe it's just asking our partners to do too, is reach out to a shack in a school district you work with closely, or that you have kids in said school district, because if you have kids in that school district, you have legally every right to attend a shack meeting and give your 2 cents. So go and just say like, hey, I want to make sure y'all have this document about why time outside is important for our kids. And we'll write up some talking points for that too, if you're interested in going to public comment at any of those shack meetings. They're all considered public meetings and are part of Open Meetings Act. So they have to have public comment. They have to be advertised so many, I think it's 48 hours ahead of time. They have to put up the agenda and stuff. So if anyone's interested in helping also with that shack stuff, please let us know. I know Stephanie, several San Antonio's regional members have just decided to start joining their shacks. So they're already excited. So
We'll tackle this every which way we can till it's done.
yeah, thank you, Danny. And then we, for those of you that were part of the discussion about our backpack program down in the Rio Grande Valley. So in the Valley, we launched in spring our LEAP project, which stands for Library Explorer Adventure Packs. And so they're backpacks that are at the libraries that families can check out for up to 2 weeks, that have lots of fun outdoor gear for families to be able to take and explore. And also our state parks down there are offering free admission to the state parks with the backpacks. So we got funding to expand LEAP to Houston and DFW. So I know that Jenny and Alicia are working on that. And I'm working on getting it in our other regions too. San Antonio heard me make one comment about it last week and are now very excited to do LEAP. And Austin, I know, has been getting started on this as well. And hopefully we will be getting more funding to expand. Our goal is to do the whole state. So if your region doesn't have one yet, you will. We just have to get there. But Marisa, are there any other updates you kind of want to give in terms of from the
Sure.
beginning?
So we've got, well, down here in the valley, we're expanding it. And so one of the things we're doing is we're adding a few more libraries. And as we're talking about it, as people are using it, there's been generating more excitement. The other thing is that not only are state parks, so the way it works is that state parks, of course, kids 12 and under are free. So what they're doing down here is they're giving 2 free adult entries into the state park. So a family of 4 could get in, or like an adult and a teenager, and then younger kids can get in. And they are the 3 state parks that are within the counties where the libraries are located. So right now, our LEAP libraries are in 2 counties in the valley, and so those are the parks that they can get into. They have to take the backpack with them. They don't have to have all the gear inside, but the backpack needs to go in because that is the pass. And then the other thing is, I just talked to our federal site, Santa Ana, and they're actually trying to see if they can also offer free entry. And then we have other partner nature sites, the smaller ones, that are offering as well. So hopefully that will also happen in the other regions where it expands. It gives families this opportunity to go outside. And they are being used. I have to do an updated a survey of all the libraries, but when we did it the first time out, which was back in July for like the first 3 months, we had 158 backpacks that had been lent out of like 5 libraries that were really active. Some of our smaller libraries, we had like 2 that were struggling, but 5 libraries, they were going out and in. So each library had 30. The slower libraries had like 25 to 30 backpacks out in that time frame. And 2 of our other libraries that were pumping them out, back and forth, they were up in like the 50s and 60s rental for that first 3 months. So that's really exciting, considering that how hot it is in the valley and how hard it is to get people outside. But there are families that are using it. We do have a survey that parents can enter, and we have an incentive program for that. And if they do 6 backpacks and they do the survey 6 times, we're going to send them like a LEAP patch, which we're still working on. So I think it's going well, and I'm excited to see how it goes in Dallas and Houston, especially with the partner sites. So definitely, if you can help Alicia and if you can help Jenny up in Dallas, reach out to those partners to make the connections, because I think that's what really helps motivate families to get those backpacks and get outdoors.
Okay, we're running short on time, so I want to make sure we have time for regional share outs. So I'll do my last update for Park RX. So we are excited to be starting to work on offering state park passes as a prescription. And so we have been working with the American Heart Association and Texas State Parks. And so we are hoping to launch that soon-ish. So we're going to be working on it where a doctor can write a prescription that will get you a code for a state park pass. So I will definitely be sharing more as we get further on that. So we'll do regional share out. So maybe just in a interest of time, I'll call on the regions just so we don't have a ton of silence as people are waiting for other people to talk. So North Texas, I see you up top on my screen.
Sure. We just had a meeting this week, largely sharing out events that are coming up, talking about future meetings. We'll be taking a trip into Dallas for our October meeting, a field trip to one of our partners, the Dallas ISD, their nature center, the district nature center. And they'll be having their family festival that day. So it is family festival for DISD and family festival for TCINN. So bring all the people and have snackies and hay rides. Should be fun. And then we've also got Nurtured by Nature coming up, and that is with the Collaborative for Children's Wellbeing. That's on October 21st, talking about mental health in nature. And the US Play Coalition is coming to Fort Worth as well. Yeah.
And a lot of TCIN members are speaking at that conference. So.
Yeah. Both locally and all over the state. I think Amanda McNichol is coming in from. So that is on October 9th at Fort Worth Botanic Garden. And it is open to anyone in the state. So if you're interested in the value of play, that's we're talking about who are the play people in your neighborhood, and that is across the state of Texas.
Cheryl, if you want to send me a flyer or something for it, because I know it's at the Botanic Garden, please, I'll include it in the notes.
Most of the information, let me get a link. I'll put it in the chat.
All right, perfect. Thanks.
Yeah.
San Antonio.
We have our regional meeting on a Wednesday, so I was trying to open my other file because we do have a couple of different things going on regionally at the Botanical Garden, but I can't get that file to open right now. So give me a minute. If I get it before we're done, I'll circle back.
Perfect. Houston.
We're very excited to be hosting the big symposia. It's very thrilling. New. So I'd like to hear what Alicia has to say.
I would like to say that it was about 2 weeks ago, we had our collaborative regional meeting at the lovely Houston Botanic Garden, where then gave us an awesome tour of the facility. I have to go back for my nieces and nephews, but that was amazing. So I'm working on a safety date for our next collaborative meeting, which will be in November. And that invitation will be sent out soon.
Great. Austin?
Yeah, so we had our regional meeting earlier this month. Where we had guest speakers talk about Roots and Wings and talk about new AISD outdoor learning opportunities from the outdoor learning specialist. And one thing I've been working with some folks in PARD to get some PARD employees to TCIN Summit in December, particularly the folks that work with the kiddos in the summer playgrounds program, and that's like a free summer camp for 8 weeks in Austin. Because they needed just like more facilitation materials, like things they can do with the kiddos outside. So I thought that would be a really good opportunity to meet lots of folks to find out things they could do with their kids outside. And then our next meeting is November, which I'm hoping will be outside in Pease Park, where I plan to show them. I'm creating a tree ID tour with like a activity for K-5 and just showing the group how to use like this online resource, do a story map, GIS story map, to like kind of like test them with the group and see how it is.
Great. Heart of Texas.
Spacebar hack doesn't always work, just heads up. So we had a meeting earlier this month. No, it was last month. I don't know. And Gabe is a new parent, so I'm sure time is super irrelevant to him too. But we met. And we agreed to move to our more meetings, less meetings plan. So we'll be meeting 6 months out of the year, but we'll only have 3 actual, like, let's sit down and have an agenda and do all the meeting things. The other 6 meetings will be, or the other 3 meetings will be social in nature. So we've got our first one on the calendar, the October 5th at the Cameron Park Zoo. So because we're new, we're a baby region, and so we're still trying to grow our region. And right now, the biggest benefit we can give to our partners is collaboration and the chance to connect with each other. So, Gabe, did I miss anything? No.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, and then we've been trying to talk to the other partners of like how to offer more like structured partnership perks for everyone who's in our region. So like, hey, if I go to the Cameron Park Zoo with my participants, this is what I already know that they can offer us, you know, if I go. So something that helps with that collaboration.
Great. I know when I was a regional leader, that was probably the most valuable bit, was being able to know, like, oh, I need to call so-and-so. So, yeah. Piney Woods.
Yeah, first off, I just wanted to say from the board member perspective, thank you to all the new faces on this call and participating in Texas Children in Nature. Without y'all's participation, we wouldn't be what we are. And I thank you for all the time that you guys spend breathing life into the network and doing things to connect folks in your community to get children outside. So thank you to you guys, first of all. What's going on in the Piney Woods? We had a meeting on August 15th. And had a nice report from Ken at the Department of State Health Services. They put out a total of 62 signs in parks around East Texas, and that were in English and Spanish, basically telling folks about the benefits of getting outdoors for their mental and physical well-being. It was a very successful campaign for them, and that was due in part by Texas Children in Nature was able to through our network, right, share that opportunity out and get them connected with a lot of folks so they could share those signs in the park. And apparently one of the deputy commissioners for the statewide agency liked it so much there might be discussions about taking it from just that region in Northeast Texas around Texarkana and to the rest of the state. So that would be great. Kind of fits very nice with Park RX, you know, in my mind, and that whole initiative. And so that was kind of the big highlight. I felt like that came out of that meeting. Of course, we had reports from our other partners, Michelle Holyfield at Eastman Nature Center, Jaden Kelly with the Texas A&M Forest Service, Ashley Mattoon with Cultivate Community in Paris, and she's a new member. You know, Piney Woods on whole is a much smaller region as far as the amount. I mean, size-wise, we're just as big, but a smaller region as far as people participating. So it's been a really fun year, getting more folks participating and getting things moving in the Piney Woods out here. And we have our next meeting on October 24th. And I'm glad the rains are here because things have been lit out here in East Texas as far as all the wildfires we've been experiencing. I know my friends over at the Texas A&M Forest Service have been running and gunning nonstop to wildfires. So we're very appreciative of the recent rains we've been getting. And I know the rest of the state is, but I understand Austin got just hammered with hail last night. So to my friends in Austin, Ashley, and others on this call, I hope that your vehicles are okay or your houses or whatnot.
You know, Ted, I had a sleep study done last night and had to drive from Dripping Springs up to Horseshoe. So I had to, I left at about 7:45. So I drove through those storms.
No.
The scariest drive I've probably ever made. But, you know, in the hill country, when you start to get up toward the top of the hill, you can see everything. So many different types of lightning going on at once, just all around you. Terrifying, but also super kind of cool too. I didn't get hail, thank goodness.
Well, yeah, and I'm glad that you're on this call and you made it safe. It is, we drove up to Shreveport yesterday to visit some friends and got caught in a real downpour on I-20. And it's just always great when you're on the interstate, you can only see about 10 feet in front of your car because of the rain, you're hydroplaning. So
fun stuff.
Yeah, it has been, I feel like lots of pictures from East Austin, like Ashley said, of baseball sized hail that came down. And then I feel like it's been connectivity issues with everyone from Austin today, because I think there's been some infrastructure that they're trying to get back up and running. Casey, if you don't have an update, that's totally fine, but I wanted to give you the chance.
Yeah,
if you
sure.
have any updates.
No real updates. I would say that I'm kind of taking advantage of this, of just doing like some outreach right now to get people on board. I haven't lived in El Paso for 22 years. I left when I was 18 and I came back when I was 40. So I'm trying to find my ground here. And I actually did live in East Austin, so I remember some of those storms, and I do remember the lightning driving east to west, which is kind of amazing. But anyway, what y'all were talking about kind of sparked some memories. So yeah, I'm just kind of in an outreach mode. I'm really excited. I got a lot of info today. You'll probably be seeing a LinkedIn invitation for me just to network. And yeah, I'm excited for what's to come. And hopefully next time we meet, I'll have much more updates. But I think El Paso is definitely overdue, and there are people doing good work in and around here. So it'll be nice to convene together.
Casey, Ted was a ranger out at the state park out there, so he may have some great connections for you as well.
I was at Waco Tanks, so yeah, that's why I said I love El Paso. I was a wayward East Texan that showed up in West Texas that sometimes needed subtitles from East Texan accent.
Yeah, I bet. Did you know by chance Alex Mares or Mares?
Yes, yeah. No, I know Alex Mares. Yes.
Yeah, amazing. Cool. Yeah, we'll have to chat more.
Yeah.
And Danny, I see your chat. I can definitely make sure that gets added to our next meeting. Okay, well, we're at 3:30. So thank you everyone for participating with our meeting today. I really appreciate it. I'll send out the notes. I'll send out the recording. Thanks y'all for everything you do. We wouldn't be able to do it without you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And have a good rest of your afternoon. Bye y'all.
Bye.
Bye.